Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So as you can see, this is the house that I have been working at. I did the rewire a couple of videos back. The wall is now gone, okay? That's where that wall used to be, so that's now gone. So now this is one open area. That old doorway's been blocked up and a doorway has been added in over there. So I'll spin you round and I'll run through what I'm going to be doing today. So they built this cupboard here. This is going to be a boiler cupboard. So as I left it, there's the new bond. And there is a thermostat cable which will just come down in a mini trunking inside this cupboard because it's going to have a boiler in here anyway and a shelf. So there's a microwave going in here, so I'm just going to put a double socket up high, eye level as the client says, and then that's going to be a spur point for the new boiler, okay? That's going to run through the wall. As you can see, that's the original height. We're going a little bit higher, 1060 to the bottom, allow for the plinth and the units and the worktop. So we're going to have we're going to have a switch spur here, sorry, to do a wine cooler point down there and a double socket here. Going to run along the wall to a double socket in the corner here. Run along the wall. We're going to have a switch spur here for an extractor and an oven point's going to be there. I'm going to put a single in because I never like the look of those big doubles. So we're going to put a single one in there, deep box, because it's a 10mm, and if you look where I brought this out, where I left these cables, it's perfectly in line with that switch, so in the zone, okay? I'm going to then run along here, so we're doing a 100mm gap. If you look at the new regs, I'll put it on the screen for you. 100mm from the edge of the oven or hob, okay? I'm going to run along to a double socket. So, sorry, that oven point will get a point down here. Double socket, and then we're going to end up with a switch spur here to control a point for the fridge freezer, which is going to be in a big unit here. And then what I'm going to have to do is bring a conduit down the wall, go along, jump in this where this wall was, and then leave it coiled out here for this island that's going to be here, which is going to house a dishwasher and a tumble dryer, I believe, and then a socket inside the cupboard, and then a socket on the island for phone charging. So I'm going to set you up, we're going to get on with that. As you can see, what I've done is draw my datum line all the way around, so it gives me a nice level height all the way around the room. And just a couple of things before I forget, this was the back door, which it still is a back door. The light switch has now ended up inside this cupboard, so what I'm going to have to do is that will get a blank plate, so it's still a usable way. I'll then drill out the back here, and luckily I've left these cables long enough, and I'll recess the new switch on this alcove here. The client didn't even know the builder was building that, to be fair. And then they've also pulled all my cables out the wall here because they've sunk this new door frame in. So all my cables have just been pulled out the wall there and the cap in, and it's now there. So I'll have to try and bring them on the angle and bring it to the right hand side of the door a little bit more. It was just on there, look. I've stopped the time lapse there. All I've done is go round and drill my boxes out with a 5.5mm drill bit or a 6mm, and now I'm going to go around with my chisel bit. I'm going to chisel these in. Obviously I've got a bit of plasterboard, so I've got to allow for plasterboard here. So what I'll do is I'll put my level across the wall like this. So it just saves you a little bit of chasing. You know that wall's going to be built out this much, so you can leave the box to the front edge of the plasterboard just to save you that sort of 15mm of chasing, okay? I'm just going to drill these out now. Just a small update to show you where I'm at. So I've got the fridge box sunk in the wall. That's the spur that's going to control that one, double socket. Reuse the 47mm box for the oven, and I've got the other one there, 47mm. That's going to control the extractor hood there. Double socket, spur to control the wine cooler, and then I've got a boiler point and a double socket for the microwave. So all I'm going to do now is get these cables dropped down. I'm going to have to use the 150 zone in here, put it on the screen for you now, to get my cables to where I want, and then I'll just run these across here, okay? Right, these walls are predominantly dotted dab, okay? So this bit of plasterboard that's existing, I need to run some cables down here and then across to the island, okay? So what I generally do is draw my line, and then I've got my multi-tool, the blade on the angle, and I'm going to show you a little technique now just for taking out that plasterboard quick and effective, just to get rid of it without having to use a drill, okay? There's my chase. I'm just going to cap these. I'm not going to cap these. I'm sorry. I'm going to clip them direct. I'm then going to make good these chases, so there's no damage going to be caused to these, and the bonding does not react with PVC, fissile bonding. And then a Copex from here is going to go into this chase along this floor and be left with that water pipe to come up inside this cupboard island here. So I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll see you in a minute. So what I've done here is put some. I couldn't find in the contractor's pack with a Copex, you get these little clips that you can fix down. They're a bit like a pipe clip. Couldn't find them, so I put a small cleat, and I'm just cable tying that through there. It's just going to keep it in place because I'm not making good the floor at this stage. I don't think I'm going to be doing it. So this will just hold it in for me while I can wire my cable through the Copex, and it also keeps the Copex nice and tight. Because if you've ever wired through Copex, you know sometimes it can be a bit of a nightmare. So that will just sit into there, and the cables will run down here. This will be under a plinth anyway, so you're not going to notice it. But I'll get this flush with the floor anyway. So whoever does do the floor, they can just make up to where I've put my conduit. So I'll just get this last cable tie in. And then what I've got to do is start actually wiring some cables around to all the boxes that I've put up and finished. Right, last one. There we go. So that sits below the concrete, and that'll just get made good. I almost forgot what I've also got to do. You see a bond here. I've got to get this water bond to this water pipe. Even though it's plastic, there's going to be lots of heating pipes and water pipes burying all through this concrete floor. So I'm going to just bond it up, and then the copper will be bonded. So I've also got to get this water bond down and around. I'll probably bring it over the top and then straight down. Do it in line with the socket. What can you do? What's the transition? I'm not going to take it in the socket. It'll have to go next to it or behind the socket, and so it's in the zone of the socket, and then it won't ever get drilled. Even though it's not live, it's a protective bond, so we need to keep it in the zone in, and then it will come down and then along the side of that Copex. What I'm doing here is I'm using the 150 zone that we can use. I'll put it on the screen somewhere for you to have another look if you missed it. So I'm going to use this 150 zone to bring my socket circuit down here. I'm also going to bring the water bond in that, then I'm going to bring it behind that socket and then down in that chase in that zone. And what I'm doing is fixing some of these D-line fire clips. There's no way you're going to clip to this. Capping's going to be a nightmare, so I'm going to clip it and then I'm going to fill it after. But I shall show you that as I get on. Right, you can see what I'm doing here. Clipping these along. That there is for the extractor hood. So cables are next to each other in the fire clips. Run down, and then that bond runs behind that box, runs down and runs along with the Copex. That's the little spur off of the fridge. Rings here. Got my ring down there. Now I'm going to sort this oven stuff out and then bring my cables around this wall and then finish up in that cupboard. So probably another hour and I'll be out of here, hopefully. So, move the switch, bonded up the cables, just to show you I've bonded everything up. There's the Copex that runs in the floor. Everything's been bonded, ready for the plasterer. That's the extractor hood. That bit of plasterboard came out, so I've bonded a whole lot for the plasterer. Yeah, filled all the big boxes, everything's ready, it's all bonded up. Blah-de-blah. Put that box there. That'll just get a box lid so it's an accessible box, so perfectly allowed to wire in the zone and then come through here to there. There's the microwave socket and there's the boiler point. So we're all done. So thanks for watching. It's now, let me just check what the time is. 4:30, so not too bad. Full day, not had a break, but that's what happens when you're self-employed. So see you on the next one. Take care.